say it before anyone else says it in the comments. She's a babe. Have you had that like FOMO yet?
No.
From football, no?
No, not at all. I mean, people are like, oh, do you want to go into punditry? I'm like, no, that's too serious.
You very much so enjoy being yourself. I think you and Risha have like a kindred spirit thing there.
I need to be in an environment where I feel like I can be myself, because that way you're going to get the best out of me on the pitch.
If someone tries to take that away from you,
exactly.
Oh, honey, I'm golfing one.
Obviously, you get older. I'm 32 this year. I need to take care of my knee. I also want longevity in my career, and you know, I want to play as long as I can. So I think after that, I had to sit down and kind of make the decision. And she's the leader. She's the one, you know, walking out in front of everyone, and the one that people are turning to and looking to in moments to, you know, guide them and give them that confidence. And I think Mido, it speaks for itself. The player that she is, the character she brings. She gives the team that fire and that oomph, and like you said, very experienced players.
There's a huge demand. We try and make it as inclusive as possible. I thought they looked solid, and I think a lot of players are on top form, so I am kind of confident.
Who are the fans that who are most rowdy?
Well, I would say the Irish.
Hello there, how are you? It's Euros week, baby. Welcome to the Kickback, sponsored by LG. It's an all-in pledge campaign. It's really good to be with you. You can show your commitment to the Lionesses and Red Roses this summer. Watching changes everything. Head to lg.com/UK/pledge for more information. It's Shebahn with you, without the evil twin sister, Rusha. She's playing in the US for international break. Coming up for you on the show today, we speak exclusively to one of the England heroes of Euro 2022, Miss Millie Bright, about the Lionesses' chances this summer. Plus, Shiv Wilson is in the hot seat today. She joins me to discuss her recent decision to retire from football, what's next for her, and review England against Jamaica. And where you can watch the Euros this summer. Where are you going to do it? Well, Baller FC will host watch parties for every Lionesses game across the tournament, and they'll be here to tell us all about that as well. So stay tuned for that, and much, much more on the way. Get in the comments, be kind, like, subscribe, get across socials. We are with you all the way now through the Euros. And Shiv Wilson is with us today. Hi!
Hi!
This is nice.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here.
I'm
going to say it before anyone else says it in the comments. She's a babe.
Thanks, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I get that a lot. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks.
Good.
All good. Are you, I know we're going to go into it in more detail, but are you ready for another version of the Euros?
Yeah, yeah.
Euros changed everything.
No, 100%. I think it changed the, what's the word I'm looking for, trajectory of women's football for the good, for the better.
For the good, the better. And they say this one's going to be bigger and better again. It's just a shame it's not on our doorstep here.
Yeah.
But Switzerland need that too. They need the love
100%.
too. They absolutely do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with you, because you're on a bit of a chill time at the minute, because you've just retired, 5 weeks ago?
Yeah, something like that, I don't know.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm chilling, living my best life. Just got back from Dubai. And yeah, I'm just really taking my time and just trying to, not kind of figure out what's next, but just transition smoothly into what I want to do next. So, yeah.
Have you had that like FOMO yet?
No.
From football, no?
No, not at all. I mean, I feel like when the season starts, I might, feel like, oh my God, I miss it a bit. But I was talking to one of the girls at Birmingham the other day, and they were saying that they're back in pre-season this week, and I thought, I couldn't think of anything worse. Yeah. So that's how I know I'm just ready to just chill.
Well, it's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, the summer's just starting, the Euros getting underway, and you guys are back into it. Like, it's a lot when you need
100%.
that brain break. But you played for Charlton, Palace, Birmingham, most recently Southampton. I mean, how's things looking at Southampton? Is it on the journey in women's football? It seems like it's doing the right things and making the right noises.
Yeah, it's got one of the best setups I've seen in terms of women's football. They're at the men's training ground. They've got their own pitch. The setup is great. And yeah, I just think, obviously it was unfortunate that when I was there, I think Remy was the manager there. So I didn't really get to work with her for too long. But even with that being said, you can see that it's heading in the right direction. So
Good. So you're absolutely on the couch for now. But what's the plan then moving forward? Because like social media is a big part of how we're getting to know you in more detail.
Yeah. Do you know what? Like, I'm just kind of, like, I really like doing stuff like this, just like sitting and having just chats, and like people are like, oh, do you want to go into punditry? I'm like, no, that's too serious. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I've got to like read off a script and that, like, nah. And I feel like I wouldn't be able to actually be myself and stuff like that. So yeah, doing things like this, like podcasts, hopefully want to start my own soon. And yeah, kind of just see where things go, like be an actual influencer finally, so.
And that's something we were discussing off air as well, is that you very much so enjoy being yourself. I think you and Risha have like a kindred spirit thing there, because it's hard to completely be yourself when you're representing a club and somebody wants you to be representing a certain way.
100%. I just feel like, from my experience, I feel like if you've got a following, so to speak, or if you're quite outspoken on your social media, like, football doesn't really like that. And they try and not, I would say, like, subconsciously control you a little bit. Obviously, I don't want to talk too much, but yeah, that's the best way I can explain it.
Okay. What, you got the impression it was like, if you could do less on social media, we'd appreciate that?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, what I say on my TikTok, for example, or what I say on my social media, they can't control that. So it just felt to me that I was being controlled in aspects within football, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard it before, to be honest. You know, especially that's the thing with women's football, Shiv. Like, you've to be this, not just an amazing role model for the football that you play and breaking barriers in football. It's then like you have to fit the brand model as well.
Exactly.
You know, and that might not be for everyone.
Yeah, because it's like with my social media, I'm very much like, I'll just say what I feel like saying, and I'm 100% myself. But again, when you're representing a brand or a club, you have to be very wary of what you say, because that's tied into the name of whoever you're playing for, and whoever's, you know, running that may not agree with your views and vice versa. So you just have to be very careful.
This is the thing, like, football, from what we knew in the past, it's all about characters, big personalities. They are trying to strip that away slightly. So it's like, you could be the best footballer and fair play to you, right? Because you're flourishing, because you're good at football. You don't have to have an opinion maybe, but then you might not be bon mati kind of thing on the pitch, but you're still being yourself. It's like that, if you strip that away from people, you'll take away the person that they are, therefore they won't perform the way that they usually perform. Like, I don't get how that's not obvious to see.
Yeah, well, from my experience anyway, I need to be in an environment where I feel like I can be myself, because that way you're going to get the best out of me on the pitch. Like, if I feel like I'm not comfortable in the environment that I'm in, I'm not going to be enjoying my football, and you're not going to get the best version of me. Okay. But I do think, if we look at women's football compared to men, I feel like a lot of female footballers are trying to like build their own brand, because obviously we don't make money like the men do. So we kind of have to do something else alongside of it. And in order to do that, we kind of need to build a fan base away from football, which means building a brand, showing your personality a bit more. And like I said, men don't have to do that because they're chilling for the rest of their life, whereas we can't do that.
A lot of men are not just then chilling, their families are chilling. You know, the mum and dad live next door in the house next door. Like, you know, it's all kind of, and that, I don't ever think I want women's football to become that either, like that kind of wealth that's almost ridiculous. But you do have to make ends meet. Like, I know a number of players who play, say, in the championship or below, who are striving and love football, and they feel they're getting that opportunity, but they still have jobs. Yeah. They're still trying to get degrees so that when football finishes, they can get another job. So at the moment, you're securing your future through doing what you're doing. And then if someone tries to take that away from you,
exactly.
Oh, honey, I'm golfing one.
But this is what I mean. I look at, obviously, I'm in a fortunate position because I've built what I've built away from football over the past 3 or 4 years. So I was in a position where I could have left at any given point. But then I do look at a lot of girls who play football and I'm like, if you wanted to retire tomorrow, what are you going to do? And that is, again, the unfortunate reality of women's football. Like, with men's football, you make enough money where you can fly your mum out to come watch your game. You can fly your friends out to come see you. Like, you have the financial freedom to do that. Whereas if you're a woman playing football, again, you've got to move to wherever you're playing to. You're isolated from your friends and family. You've got to move to wherever you're playing. And you don't have the luxury of being able to get your mum a car for 2 or 3 hours to come see a game. It's too expensive. Do you know what I mean? We don't get paid enough to do that. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree. It's conversations we've had. Rush sitting in this chair before. And it's also, I always think, does Russia just like fight the system all the time? Now you're saying, I'm like, okay, go. I'm assured it's not just her. Also, talk to me about where football started for you then, Shiv. Like, go back to the beginning. Where did it all begin?
We're going back like 25 plus years here. Well, my dad actually used to play himself, but it was never a thing where he forced me to play football. But he always used to say to me, oh, when you was like 2 or 3, I knew you was going to be a footballer because you actually kicked the ball properly. You didn't kick it with your big toe, do you know what I mean? So played for Enfield Town growing up, then I went to Spurs, and then I went to America for a couple of years. Come back, played in Spain for a year, played in Italy for 6 months, and then, was back in England. So I've been all over the place.
And you look back on your career and love it?
Yeah, I'm like, to be fair, like when I was thinking about retiring, one of the main things that was in my head was, if I look back on my career and, analyse what I've done, would I be happy with that? And I was just like, alongside of building what I've built away from football, Would I have wanted to, I don't know, played in a major tournament with Jamaica or something? Yeah, of course, but to have done what I've done and built the following that I have, etc., I'll take it. So I'm not really mad at that.
Good.
Yeah.
And playing for Jamaica, tell us about that experience playing for a country like Jamaica, because when we see them at major tournament experience, it looks like the best crack ever.
Oh, it's vibes, pure vibes. It's a great time, genuinely. It's one of them where, obviously, let's not beat around the bush. It's not in the place where it should be yet. It's a lot better than what it was a couple of years ago. Before I had my ACL surgery, again, it wasn't in the best position. And then a couple of years later, after I came back, things had gotten better, but there's still such a long way to go. Yeah,
there was that big story, wasn't there, around the federation?
Yeah.
What was that making you pay for travel? Is there something like
that? No,
I
think, obviously, when you play in the World Cup, obviously FIFA pay the federations, don't they?
Yes.
And then the federations pay the players, and the federation never paid the players.
They never paid them?
No. And I think there's still, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know 100%, but there's some things going on with that, I'm not sure. And the federation paying and stuff, yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's the other discussion that I don't think we have all too much as well, is that women get paid for representing the national team kind of thing. There's a payment there for them. So
yeah, I think the last camp I went on was in February, maybe, to Peru. I ain't been paid for that. I'm still waiting. Whether I'll get it or not, I don't know, but yeah.
When was that? February
or March, or something like that. Or maybe end of Jan, don't know, it's a couple of months ago anyway, around that time.
Yeah. Don't hold your breath, Shiv.
Yeah, honestly. That's what I mean, I really enjoyed playing for Jamaica because, again, it was just vibes and it genuinely felt like a holiday. I was like, I'm just going on holiday, so.
I love that. I love it. Speaking of which, shall we go to last night's result? Because what did you make? What did you make of that?
I mean, I don't think, obviously, the usual starting 11 wasn't playing, but again, Jamaica are playing against one of the best teams in the world, so. And I'm always gonna back my girls. So yeah, it wasn't, I'm not gonna lie, I probably watched 60 minutes of it. Didn't watch the full thing. But yeah, obviously we just couldn't really get the ball at all. It was, we were just ball chasing the whole game, so.
It's a statement win. I mean, obviously you have an affiliation with England, I would say as well, Shiv.
Yeah.
I take it you're on that bandwagon for the Euros?
Yeah, I mean, because I can't support Jamaica, can I? So,
yes, it's true.
I've got to, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing with the Lionesses. I feel that they're going to win the Euros again.
Yeah.
I feel it's a time again. I know we can't see past Spain. We'll talk about what's happened to Bonmati very shortly. But I don't know, I feel that there's everything that's happened, like there's been a lot of drama, hasn't there?
Oh, mad drama.
Mad drama.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Here for it though.
But I also feel that sometimes that can bring a squad together more.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know, I feel like it could work. It could either go one way or the other, right? Like it could have a negative effect on the team, or like you said, it could bring the team together. But yeah, I think, you know, with England's previous win with the Euros, again, there's naturally gonna be that pressure, right? But from what I've seen, they look pretty decent. So I can't see them not getting far in the tournament.
The squad is a joke.
That's what I mean.
It's like, where do you find a weak point?
Yeah.
You know, it's such a stacked squad. So we will wait and see. Euros ahead of you this week. We will keep posted. You're across it all with us here on the Kickback. And you can let us know in the comments if you think England were going to do it again. But I mean, that performance last night was a classic statement win for England. What they need going into a major tournament. Can I ask you about Bunny Shaw? Do you have a relationship with Bunny?
Yeah.
How is she?
She's just chill. Like, literally just chill. She's just cool, man. Genuinely. Like, we have, she's funny as well. Like, we have like a lot of, not deep conversations, but you can talk to her on a level. So yeah, she's a good friend of mine.
Good.
Yeah.
Good
Ridiculous footballer as well. Like, I remember the first ever camp that I went into, this was years ago. And I remember, I think we were doing like I think it was attack versus defence or something. Literally, her first touch of the ball, she megged me on the first, like literally within like 10 minutes of my first session, I thought, all right, cool. This is what we're doing. All right, cool. So yeah, she's absolute joke though, absolute joke.
Do you ever have the conversations with her about social media? Because obviously it's a big part of where you are at the minute in your space. And for her, what happened to her, the abuse she received, like, does she deal with that better now? Is she still struggling with that a bit?
To be fair, I think, when did that happen? Was it?
Not long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. I don't think I actually spoke to her directly about it, but again, I think it's important, especially if you're a black player playing in England, like these issues need to be spoken about. Because I think people need to understand that racism is still a thing. Not just in football, in general. So it's important to shed light on it and talk about it whenever it happens.
Yeah. And I think she did raise awareness of that. And she's not the first player, sadly. She will not be the last player. How do you help tackle that? I mean, is that something you've received?
To be honest, the only thing I've received is like a DM with like the N-word in it or something. And I think this was when I was at Birmingham, and I reported it to the safeguarding officer at Birmingham at the time. And what happened, they got the police involved, and the police like traced down who it was. And it was basically this person who was in this mental institution and had like a mental disorder or something. But again, it's like, I don't know how to tackle it, so to speak, because I feel like racism is something that you're taught. You're not just born and, oh my God, like, you're racist. Like, it's got to come from the generations above you, like, or what you're learning or what you're reading. So yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. It's a tough one.
Good. Well, I mean, in terms of reporting it when that happens, that's a good thing. That's something that we do hear players do. I think there should be always more focus on it.
Oh, 100%.
People throw their fucking hands up in the air about any little thing, and I'm like, but if we all did that about racism, maybe it would have more of an impact. Yeah. Kind of thing. Maybe that's a bit preachy on my side.
Did anything happen to the person did they find out who it was?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think. Well, I haven't heard any of those reports. But I remember there was an Arsenal one recently, and the police got the guy. Yeah. They got the guy. And again, it was something stupid, like a young kid just being a stupid idiot, you know.
But this is what needs to happen. So it prevents people from doing it in the future, you know. Like, if it means that you're banned from going to the games for however long, or for good, you know. Like, these things need to happen so people stop doing it.
And it was named and shamed as well.
Yeah, good.
So there you go. That's what happens when you're trying to get a job. Yeah. People will know that you've done that.
Good.
So well done, you idiot, kind of thing.
Make your bed, lay in it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Talk to me then about the future for you. So in terms of your TikTok, do you rate people on PTs? Is that like the kind of...
No, so it's more like I will react to fitness content. Right. So let's say there's someone doing something or has a question and they're speaking about it on a TikTok, I'll just kind of like answer the question with my reaction sort of thing. But I try make it funny, like I just try to be myself and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do you want to
really.
see me squat?
Go on then.
Right, so apparently my insides, they turn in.
Right. Yeah, that's woeful, I'm not gonna lie to you. That is poor. That is poor. Maybe you should try with your shoes off. Well, at least you can touch your toes.
Yeah. You'd love my workouts. I'm gonna send you some, Shiv.
Do you work out?
No!
Oh.
Well, to be fair, I should, because I'm turning into a fat bastard. Okay.
So I don't do nothing at all?
I was a good runner, but my knees are gone, my hips gone. And then I like to think I'll get into the routine. I do one day of lifting weights, and then I'm like DOMS for hell. And then I can't do it again. I lose it for another like 2 weeks.
You need structure and plan and routine, that's what you need.
Do you believe like eating's a big part of it as well?
100%, I think that's like 80 to 90% of it, for sure. Okay. What's your eating habits like?
Good.
Oh.
Good. But I did have 2 bottles of gin in the weekend there.
Right. So the drinking is
probably that's the bit I'm good at.
Right.
I'm really good at that.
So would you be happy with like cutting down a little bit or nah? I'll take that.
I mean,
as a no.
it was a blowout. You know, Mama doesn't get out too much.
I don't know how you do it.
Mama's not been out in a while. Do you not drink alcohol?
Like, it depends. Like, if there's a certain occasion, yeah, but I can only have 1 or 2. Genuinely, I think the last time I drank was my birthday, which was like a couple of weeks back. I had like 2 drinks and I was hanging the next day. I had a banging headache.
Yeah,
I know. And then I do drink like it's strong. Like I have like Hennessy and Coke or something.
Okay.
So maybe I need to move to the gin. It's a bit more.
Listen, I wouldn't advise it.
Nah.
No.
What's just as bad?
I'm not big. I'm not clever.
Okay.
Well, I'm big. Shiv, it's been an absolute joy to speak to you today.
Thank you for having me, Andrew.
Everyone can follow you all over the socials, right?
Yes.
Remind us.
Wilson Coaching on YouTube and TikTok, and then Wilson Coaching UK on Instagram.
Okay, and I'm going to teach you how to squat properly, okay?
Yeah, we need to work on that.
Shiv, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Now, I had the pleasure of sitting down with England defender and 2022 European champion Millie Bright to chat about the Lionesses' chances at the Euros this summer. Here you go. Millie is 8 months off the coffee. How are you surviving?
Just high on life.
So you don't drink any caffeine?
I have a cup of tea, but it's only a small amount. Oh my God. But yeah, stop.
Without the tea, I'd die. I just
First 3 days I had headaches, was like aggy, angry. And then after that, I've had no fatigue, no like, oh my God, I need a coffee. Like that urge to have a coffee's gone. It's the best thing. I thought it was a myth. When everyone used to tell me quit coffee and you'll feel amazing, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And then I did it and I was like, I'm never drinking it ever again.
So are you one of those athletes who focuses on everything that goes into your body? Like even including caffeine, it's like a focal point?
I'd say I'm human. If I want a packet of sweets, I'm going to have a packet of sweets.
That's why we love you.
So
That's why we love you. Countdown's on then to the Euros.
yeah.
How you feeling about England and retaining the trophy?
Yeah, it's exciting. I think it's going to be a massive tournament. I think it's going to be the toughest one yet for all the nations. I think just where the women's game is. But yeah, I think we've got an amazing squad. We've got some amazing young talent that's come through and, you know, going to their first tournament. And I remember that, and it's super exciting. You know, you're almost fearless in that sense, which I think is really, really good. But yeah, it's anyone's trophy to take. And as much as, you know, we won it last time, I think it's a clean slate. It's a fresh England team, and I think you almost have to forget that you won it previously. And like I said, it's anyone's trophy to take, and the girls have that mentality anyway. So really looking forward to watching them.
It'll be different for you, won't it? Like how do you sit and watch England, knowing everything you know about that squad, knowing that you were part of that leadership group that won that trophy? Have you got FOMO yet? Or are you like, no, it's cool?
I'm terrible at watching games when I'm not a part of them, whether that's club or country. I'm awful. I feel like I'm still in the game, and it's one of them situations where you can't control the outcome, you can't influence, you can't impact. But yeah, I think I'll be sitting and watching, and I'll be really proud and just really excited to see some of the youngsters, the likes of Aggie, Grace, you know, I know how much hard work they've put into to be in this position, and I think they can really add something to the team. But yeah, I'm just going to be excited, and I'll probably be yelling at the TV and making sure that we get those 3 points and onto the next game.
I mean, it's a difficult group as well. I mean, it's been seen as one of the groups of death.
Yeah.
Where do you think will be the crucial game in the group stage?
I think everyone's focusing on our group, but I think all the groups are hard. It's tournament football, and I know it's cliche, every player says that, but tournament football is different. You know, when you're there, it's the only thing that matters is winning the game, and you do absolutely anything to win that game. It's not necessarily about performances. Yes, you want momentum, but momentum comes by winning and getting that good feel on and off the pitch. So I think that's the priority, and everyone's looking at, you know, the likes of France and Netherlands, but you know, the Wales game is going to be a big one. It's a massive rivalry of England, and yeah, I definitely think they're a team that are not to be overlooked. So for me, every game in a tournament is hard, and some of the results can surprise people.
If there is a game that you could go to in that group, see the England-Netherlands game, just because everybody knows each other so well.
Yeah.
It's almost a bit of like a WSL fixture.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you look at these teams coming together and these countries meeting, but the fans as well, like it's going to be such another injection into women's football. How important is that?
It's massive. The fans are everything in tournaments, in any game, you know, whether it's a final, a group stage, you know, the knockouts, it doesn't matter what it is. The fans create the atmosphere, they create the intensity. When it's the 80th minute and you're a little bit tired and they cheer you on when you win a tackle, or, you know, you get that shot on target or a goal, they're the ones that give you that little boost. And I think in the tough moments you look in the crowd, and the ones that are cheering you on is what motivates you to give absolutely everything and leave it all out there. So again, I think it'll be a statement of women's football and where we're at, and just another gentle reminder of where we're wanting to get to. So yeah, I think it's going to be amazing.
And see those like volleyball and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Do you see like another competitive edge of your teammates, and people who are just annoyingly talented at all sports? I'm like, come on.
Oh yeah,
100%.
That was one of the best things in the last Euros, is the volleyball net, because the staff would get involved. But there was that many players that wanted to take part, and the staff, that we'd just have to cram everyone on the pitch. So you'd be like, is it me, is it you? And then if you dropped it and you'd lose a point, you'd be like, for God's sake, like, move out the way, let me hit it. So, but again, they're the moments, they're the memories, they're the things that you look back on and you really appreciate, and you can really see how much it means to each other to be there, and to, you know, they're just the things for me why you play team sport.
That's lovely. I'm glad you brought up Love Island, because Giorgio Russo's going into the Villa Casa Amor.
See?
What are we thinking about that? That's everyone's just going to be looking at Alessia Russo when she's trying to watch her brother on TV. It's random. I love it.
Yeah, it really is. It's it's a strange situation. You know, Lester's at the Euros, he's in Love Island. Hopefully not causing too much trouble in there. But yeah, I did see that she did a little interview, and that the girls are all going to be watching, and that's going to be like a thing that they sit down and do. So I think it'll be really nice, and yeah, maybe it'll be able to take her mind off things a little bit as well.
And in terms of the squad, I take it you're in touch with them. What was the moment for you? You thought, I need to just prioritise myself this summer.
To be honest, it's been such a tough season. I think everyone looks at Chelsea, and you know, we've won the treble and gone unbeaten, and it's all sunshine and rosy. But for me, it's been the toughest season. I know for the girls, it's been the toughest. There's so many barriers that we've overcome off the pitch and behind the scenes, and so many things we've had to deal with and change, and you know, injuries and looking after one another, and you know, whether it's personal things as well. There's been so much going off in the last season, and then I was really grateful that my knee lasted the whole time up until the last 10 minutes of the final against Man United. And I think obviously you get older. I'm 32 this year. I need to take care of my knee. I also want longevity in my career, and you know, I want to play as long as I can. So I think after that, I had to sit down and kind of make the decision, and the priority was just, one, taking care of myself physically and making sure that I can continue playing, and two, just, I think sometimes you just need to sit back and take a break. And for me, I couldn't actually think of the Euros. It weren't really in my head. So for me, that's when I knew I needed to reflect on my decisions and my options. And also I see it as it would have been pretty selfish to have gone and taken up a space when there's someone else that's 100% available mentally and physically to compete and give the team the best possible chance of winning. So, yeah.
Good on you. There are experienced players who we're going to see in this tournament who are missing from the World Cup, Beth Mead and Leah Williamson. How crucial is it to have those players, those characters as well, back in this England squad?
Yeah, it's massive. It's a huge boost, and I know they were so eager to be back, and obviously it was really hard for them to miss the World Cup. So to have them back, like you said, Leah's the captain, she's the leader, she's the one, you know, walking out in front of everyone and the one that people are turning to and looking to in moments to you know, guide them and give them that confidence. And I think Mido, it's, you know, it speaks for itself, the player that she is, the character she brings. She gives the team that fire and that oomph, and like you said, very experienced players, which in tournaments you do need. I think you need a good blend of, you know, the youngsters which have that fearless mentality, that, you know, eagerness and energy, and then you do need that experience to kind of guide that and just bottle it up where it needs to be and keep everything in check. So I think it's a massive boost for the team.
Yeah, LJ also back in the squad as well. You know her very well, obviously, from Chelsea.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I find her just an incredible. You just watch her play, and I'm like, geez, she's just different levels.
Just not real.
Yeah,
she is. No, she's a massive boost, and I think I've seen behind the scenes that how hard she's worked to put herself back in a position to be available. She's had a hard run of injuries, and you know she's worked so hard to get back, and it's so nice to see her back out there playing first and foremost, but also knowing that she's at the Euros and she's, you know, she's that little golden ticket almost. And but I equally think, you know, there's enough pressure on her, so she just needs to enjoy it. And when she's happy and she's playing her best football, that's when you'll get the best out of her. So yeah, I have no doubts about LJ. She's an incredible person, but a fantastic footballer.
I was listening to your podcast with Rachel Daly, and you were talking about how the day after you won the Euros, how everything changed overnight. And we've heard that. How important is it to protect the youngsters coming into this England group if they are to win again? That, you know, the pressures now, social media, everything, the media, the press, it's a different level now on them.
It's crazy. My advice would be come off socials. I've done it every single tournament, and you know I always back my decision. It's been the best thing. I actually find it hard going back on social media after, because you get so used to not having it, and there's just no ag, and you're not reading any comments, and people will say, "Oh, just don't read them." But it's not as easy, you know, when you're getting your messages are flooding through, when you're getting tagged in things, whether it's positive, negative, everyone have an opinion. It's easier said than done, but honestly, if I was speaking to the youngsters, I always said, come off it for the tournament, find your little niche thing that you need to do, whether it's mine and Rach, we did journaling. We used to journal at every tournament, and we do TikToks. That was the only platform that we was on. We were just doing silly dances or challenges, or, you know, just being me and Rach goofy. But yeah, it's hard, and I think they should also tap into the experienced players and how they dealt with the pressures of being there, the pressures of family, because that's another thing that people don't see is, you know, your families want to be so supportive, but sometimes it's so overwhelming having so many messages and, oh my God, we've seen this in the pub down the street and look how many people they are. And I said to mine, don't tell me anything, don't send me anything. I'll relive it all after the tournament. Please don't like bombard my phone, which my family have always been amazing with stuff like that, and they know now anyway how to deal with it. But for people that haven't, I think it's definitely a conversation that the youngsters should have with families, and making sure just as much as they're dealing with it, your families need to respect boundaries as well. And then coming out of tournaments, you know, no matter how far you go, you still need that moment to decompress. If you've not gone as far as you wanted to, you've got to deal with that. If you go all the way and you win, you definitely need to decompress. I didn't leave the house for 6 days. It was just, I said to Rach, I kept texting, I was like, I don't know what to do. What do I do? Who do I see? Where do I go? And it was just, I think the only time I left the house was to collect all the letters and the flags that the village had put in the trees, which again, super respectful. Not one knock on my door, not one letter through the letterbox. Like, all the fan stuff was all in the trees, which was really cute. And the village like printed a massive banner and stuck it up, like as I drove in I could see it. So I just went round and collected everything, and then I just went through letters. But I was just like, I literally didn't know what to do in my life. Like, someone cooks for you every day, you get breakfast, you get everything, you're told where to go, where to be, what to wear, and then you go home and you've just changed the nation and like took it to a whole nother level, and you become a European champion, and then you just sit there. And I was like, okay, what do I do? Rachel, where are you? Come for a sleepover.
Sorted in, delivered. And that's the thing as well. I had read somewhere, in fact, I don't even know if it was you said it, Millie, in an interview. You're a very clear thinker, even this conversation now, you're very clear in your thoughts, and I love that. Was it you and Leah Williamson who said in that Euros, like, we can win this, let's now start? Like, how important is it to have characters like that in the squad this time to go, we know we're good enough to win this? And do you think England are equipped with those characters?
Yeah, you've got to have that. The last Euros, we had a rule that we had a bubble. Nothing got in the bubble and nothing got out the bubble. And we protected each other. We protected kind of that circle that we was in. And as much as we said internally that, you know, we always said, we know we can win this tournament, but we never spoke of it. And that was like a golden rule. Like, we don't say we're going to win. We know our beliefs and we leave it there. We train every day hard. We do our recovery properly. We don't skip corners. We tick all the boxes every single day. And then the rest is history. So I think the same applies. You can't look too far ahead. You can't live in the past or yesterday's session. You just have to make sure you're ticking all that you can do. And all that you can do as a player is give 100%. Like, you can't give any more than that, and you can't give any more than doing all the right things and making sure every single day you can look each other in the eye and be like, I've done all I can do today to be the best for tomorrow. So that was kind of like the golden rule that we had. And I do think there's those characters. You've got Lucy Bronze, Leah Williamson, Beth Mead, Chloe Kelly. You've got players that have experienced that and experienced games outside of international as well at the highest level and what it takes to win. So it's just about guiding everyone and being on the same page is the biggest thing. But again, the media is as intense as ever, so protecting each other is crucial. And I seen an interview that Serena did about the outside noises. It's just noise. As long as you know what path you're on as a team, and that's staff included, the outside's irrelevant.
I feel like you're like a little built-in Tony Robbins. Like, you've written that book or something, The Power of the Law of Attraction. I feel like I'm ready and pumped. Let's go.
Don't give me an idea.
I'm just going to write the book.
Book's coming out soon.
It's all in the journals. Listen, I'll miss you. I'll miss watching you. You know how much you'll miss it as well. We look forward to seeing you back in an England shirt. And tell us, are you confident they can win it again? Now you're out the bubble for a minute.
100%. I believe in the girls all the way, and you know, I might do a little bit of vlogging along the way, so you can still see me.
You need to watch alongs.
Yeah, I will.
You and Rachel.
I will actually. Yeah.
Yeah, bottle of wine, not a coffee, just a bottle of wine. Watch alongs, unfiltered. Go for it. I mean, I'm in there. Let's swim for that.
All right, it's happening.
Well, have a good summer. Good luck to England, and thank you for speaking to us.
No worries. Thank you.
Amazing to speak to Millie Bright. She was in unbelievable form, especially just ahead of the Euros. We're days away now from it all kicking off. Throughout the tournament, Baller FC are going to be hosting watch parties for every Lioness game. So pleased to say that founder Rachel Gould joins me down the line to reveal a little bit more about these watch parties. Hello, Rachel. How are you? Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very well, thank you.
Is this like the moment, Rachel, where you get to sit and act like everything's calm? We're on Zoom, everything's calm, but you're probably like flying around trying to organise everything before it all gets underway.
There's a lot going on. It's pretty busy. I've got a lot of lists.
I bet you do. Tell me, like, where the events are happening. What's the plan?
Okay, so I mean, Baller FC stands for Baller Friends Collective. It's a group of us who are friends. We're huge football fans. And since 2022, we've been putting on watch parties for the women's football, particularly the England games, but all the other games as well for the other home nations and the other teams in Europe. This year, we are hosting events in London and Manchester. So in London, we will be hosting them at Signature Brew in Haggerston, and also Black Horse Road Brewery. And then we've also got a team up in Manchester who are hosting them at the Carlton Club in Whalley Range.
And how are tickets going for this? Have you got people who are well up for it, up for the crack, looking to mingle with their pals?
Yeah, I mean, this Saturday we're doing a crossover Pride event alongside the England and Wales games. That's completely sold out in London. But there are tickets still available for Manchester. And then for all the other England and Wales games in London, we do still have tickets available.
Excellent. I mean, it's a great concept. I keep saying, I actually said this to Millie Bright last week. I was like, people now want to watch games together. There's such an appetite for the women coming together and then just like supporting teams together. And it doesn't have to be like nicey all the time. Like, there's a certain energy. There's that kind of passion that comes from women as well, funnily enough.
Yeah, and I mean, we encourage everybody from all the teams to come down, but we love a little bit of rivalry. You know, if the Spain fans want to start chanting something at the England fans, then, you know, we encourage that.
And what about you? I mean, tell me about the things that you've witnessed in these watch parties, and I take it there's a huge demand for them as well.
There's a huge demand. I mean, I think what has been really nice is the amount of people that come down on their own. So they will come down and they know that they will feel welcome and they'll feel safe. We try and make it as inclusive as possible. And we always have our ballers there to welcome people and to just introduce you to people if you are on your own. I think the overwhelming feeling is that people just really want to celebrate now that women's football is so big. We just want to celebrate it and just enjoy every minute that we can.
Are you positive that the Lionesses are going to do it again?
I think they look pretty good. Like the Jamaica game yesterday, I thought they looked solid, and I think a lot of players are on top form, particularly a lot of the Arsenal players. They've obviously had a great season, Champions League final. So I think we are, and like Ella Toon yesterday, we're going in with some of our best players really on top form. So I am kind of confident, you know, they should definitely get quite far.
Who are the fans that who are most rowdy, like at these watch parties?
Well, I would say the Irish. And sadly, they're not going to be, they're not in this tournament. But I mean, the England fans are always very rowdy. The England games are really, really high energy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is about the Irish, you know, in a bar watching Ireland play that gets people all G'd up.
I don't know.
I'll never work it out, but no, I mean, honestly, I'm just about over the heartbreak of that Rachel of Ireland not being there. But the Lionesses look very promising, that's for sure, and I would be sticking a cheeky little quid on them. Tell me about the future as well. I mean, have you got watch parties planned for next season? Is that something that you're going to start looking at as well?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we've been doing WSL watch parties for 2 years now, so they're really popular. Champions League is getting really, really popular. So we'll be showing all the Champions League, and then we always show every England game, friendly, tournament, whatever's going on. So yeah, it's going to be a busy season again next season.
Okay, well, you mentioned Ireland, so we're just going to cut to our gal, Rusha Littlejohn. She's out playing for Ireland at the moment in international friendlies against the USA, and she gave us her prediction of what she thinks will happen this summer.
Hello there, people. How's it going? Okay, so Women's Euro 2025 winners, I'm going to go with, which by the way I don't agree with, I like to watch the first games, at least to get a feel for the teams and go off that, but you're hanging me out to dry a little bit. I know Shebahn will be sitting there going, Netherlands are in with a chance. She's probably got her England top on, she's probably bought one already. And yes, obviously we can't rule them out. But I feel like France could be up there right now. Also, Spain, obviously. But I'm going to go for someone different right now. Excuse my hair. I'm going to go with Germany, because I get they're going through a bit of a transition period. They've lost a few of their stars, like Lena McGill and Pop, but I'm just going to take a wild punt on them right now. I don't know why. I'm just going for it. Germans efficient. And then surely when the tournament kicks off and we get to watch the teams in their first games, we will get to do another prediction. I'm sure we will on the kickback. That's it. Germany right now. That might change after. We'll see.
The Germans, remember last time round, Rachel, it was a final of England-Germany and it was England who did it. Do you see the Germans have been a bit of a threat to the campaign this time round?
I think Germany do have a strong team, but I think as ever, it's going to be Spain are going to be the ones to beat. So, you know, that's who I think our biggest competition is going to be.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on with us today. Just remind everyone where we can see your platforms and make sure we can get tickets if we want to join these watch parties.
So if you go on our website, www.ballerfc.com, there's a link there to all the tickets for London and Manchester.
Lovely stuff. Rachel Gould from Baller, thank you so much for being with us today. And we look forward for the watch parties growing and having a good time, most importantly.
Absolutely. Thank you.
See you. Bye-bye. Today's show is brought to you by LG and its all-in pledge campaign to increase viewership across women's sport Watching, as you know, changes everything. By pledging to watch more women's sport this summer, you'll be part of the drive to increase investment, grow the game and create opportunities for young girls to get involved themselves. Let's hear again from LG's ambassador, Millie Bright, speaking about the importance of the LG All-In Pledge campaign.
Women in sport, and I think again that's something that I'm proud of, is that we champion one another no matter what sport you play in. As a woman, like, we champion each other to be successful and congratulate each other, and just been powerful athletes, and yeah, just showing who we are and that we deserve to be on that platform and to be visible all over the world.
And that's the thing, with that increased viewership, it will only send a message to fans as well. How important is it that they get that message?
Yeah, it's massive, and I'm going to be front of it, making sure that they definitely get that message. But LG have been, you know, amazing in that, and you know, the pledge is now live and active, so you know, want everyone to head over and take a look into that and really get on board, because this is about people that are genuinely caring for the women's game and women in sport and really want to make a difference. You know, you've got fathers with daughters that kind of see the struggles and see the barriers and are really trying to make a difference. So something that I'm really proud of and really grateful and thankful that they're, you know, willing to do this, but it's going to be a game changer for sure.
You're going to be watching this summer. The nation will be watching. The world will be watching, because it's only going one way. Watching changes everything. I love that. That's brilliant.
It does, and I can't wait. I'll be there rooting. I'm definitely going to be watching, so make sure everyone else does as well.
This episode of The Kickback was brought to you by LG and its All-In Pledge campaign. Watching changes everything. With an incredible summer of female sport just around the corner, we can all make a difference by signing LG's pledge to support female sport this summer. You can also use the LG's AI music tool to create a song of support for the girls. It's good fun. Head to lg.com/UK/Radio Optimism to make yours now and send your tune to the players on social. Join us next week to hear what Millie Bright and I created for the Lionesses. You will not want to miss that. Trust me, it's a really good tune. Don't forget to like, subscribe, see us on social media. Don't forget to like The Kickback as well on TikTok. Be in the comments, be kind, and we'll see you again next week when the Euros is underway, baby!
Not just her, but the whole squad are underperforming.
I've been there, I've been that statistic. I think it's something like 1 million girls in the UK drop out of sport every year.
Hello and welcome back to The Kickback.
You're looking a bit heavy, Callum.
Wait, fat?
Oh, you've come in to sort her hair.
You seem to have been running around upsetting people, Spencer, you treacherous little hound.
Boom! Like that. That's where he was getting stuck.
Usyk the one,